Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Sammy here, bringing you our part 2 of Link Click.
So the first thing I wanted to know, which I still don't know to this day, is why keep sending Cheng into pictures if he's going to keep letting his personal feelings get in the way. He wants to do the right thing so badly that he actually doesn't care about anyone's feelings whatsoever. He's been rolling like the true villain of the season this whole way through.
I have to agree, this guy is completely selfish in his whole approach to this, knowing full well what the ramifications of changing the past can be, and yet he still does it. Literally every episode, he's still doing his own thing. He gets told off, he does it again. He gets told off, he does it again. Maybe, finally, he's gonna figure it out that, whoops, there it is. Maybe I should start caring about the consequences, because the consequences just came and bit him in the backside.
But that's the thing, the consequences are not biting him at all. They're biting everyone around him.
What?
People are coming in, like the dude who came in and said, look, all I want you to do is send my last thoughts that I want to say to the people I love. Just do that for me, because that will matter to me, even though they are gonna pass. It means something to me that the last things that I said to them, it wasn't a fight, it wasn't an argument, and it was my true feelings. But no. Cheng has to make it about his mother and his loss, and he has to go ahead and make some of their last moments totally scary.
So, okay guys, I'm gonna let you into a little bit of Big Boy Summer's life here. I found that episode very emotional. So, I don't know, well, you lot obviously don't know because I've never said this online. My father passed away in 2008, and in 2008 was where this episode started, and when the earthquake occurred, and there was a lot of death, and it was really, really, like, emotional for me. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. I was like, woo, it was kind of deep for me. And I completely understood where Cheng was coming from there. I get it. He lost his parents to the same earthquake that he was sent back to go send messages about. It was kind of deep, and I kind of feel Lu Guang literally should have pulled the plug here a little bit, or just before, because the little actions that Cheng was making to change the past without getting scolded, without getting any consequences, meant that certain big things were gonna just keep happening. Because at the end of the day, he suffered nothing for it. So obviously he thought it's cool. Lu Guang's just gonna tell me off and yet send me back into the next photo. And that's exactly what happened. Nothing changed. He just, but that episode, woo, Lord, that hurt me a little bit, bro.
That episode was really hard to watch. Watching Cheng relive the loss of his mother was really hard. And I also thought that it was so cool the way they didn't tell us throughout the episode what the notes were to the family members until the very end. And they did it from the perspective of the man who lost all of his friends and family. And I thought that was so nicely done. The way that they constructed that whole episode was just ace.
Yeah, that episode was a masterpiece. But true to form, Cheng still saved the goddamn camera. That was against the rules still, and yet nothing happened to him. Until obviously now.
There were a couple of things that I wanted to know about the powers that I felt like they didn't answer. I mean, they don't need to, but I wanted to know why they couldn't re-enter the same photograph. Like, they messed up with CCTV footage with the dojo case.
Yeah.
And he couldn't go back into the same CCTV footage. They had to ask for like a completely different photograph. And I was just kind of wondering why they couldn't do that.
Yeah, speaking about certain things that they can't do, why is it when they go back in, they not just keep taking loads of different pictures just so that they've got checkpoints to go back to in case they F it up? You know what I mean?
That's true, because they can bring their phones.
You get what I mean?
They can
like,
bring personal belongings.
bruv,
So.
I'd be like snappity, snap constantly, just in case. Because Cheng is a liability, innit? So I'll be like, every 2 seconds, if I was Lee Guang, I'll be like, yo, take a picture now. Why? I can see you're gonna F up soon. I can see it.
And speaking of the Dodo case, it literally ended in the best possible way. I do not know how they managed to make light-hearted, because I am telling you, from the moment that I realized what this case was, my heart was just pounding for the full 2 episodes. I was just like, oh my god, please, I didn't want them to take it too far.
Ruka can't handle this.
I have a weak stomach when it comes to certain things.
And the thing is as well, with that episode coming off the back of the earthquake episode, I was like, you can't do it twice. You can't do it twice to me. I was the whole time like going, nah fam, don't do this. And they didn't do it.
Yeah, they didn't. I like the way they changed the handling, but they actually baited us intentionally.
Yeah.
For instance, they made us think that it was a man. First of all, that had taken Dodo, and it was a woman.
Yeah.
They made us think that it was going to be explicit in nature with the way they set it up and dragged it along.
Yeah.
But then it actually turned out not to be. However, they say that you can't change death and stuff like that. Those are things that can't be crossed. However, with the Dodo case in particular, we don't know if they actually crossed through that, because nobody knew what had happened to Dodo. Yet when Cheng went in there, he said, look after this child as if this child is your own, blah, 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 blah. And she didn't get any other kids after that. But would she have, had he not said that? And then on top of that, they've got this whole weird butterfly effect thing going on, where near the end, it was showing us the friend was safe because he had set up a meeting point beforehand that he didn't know about. So how much of that is actually going on in these episodes?
Yeah, I mean, this magic system is very convoluted at best. It's not easy to pinpoint how it works, but it's still intellectually consistent at the same time. And I don't know how they managed it, because doing something like that, look, I don't know if any of you guys watch Rick and Morty, but they basically said we don't deal with time because it's just going to get into a mess. And these guys dealt with time, and I kind of feel like they did a great job. It's just that I still don't fully get it, because every time I wrap my head around it, I'm like, wait, hold on. Did you just save? Did you not save? Did you just do? Did you not do? Like, do you get what I mean? It's just weird. But they did a good job.
Obviously keeping it quite ambiguous worked in their favor, not giving us all of the rules so that we can just sort of enjoy the show. However, I have a really big problem with this anime, and that was the half-hearted subtitles. It really irritated me. It impacted me actually being able to enjoy watching it, because there was missing information. We didn't get to see what any of the text messages said, which was actually important to the story.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
The end of episode 11, they had like a bunch of stuff in only Chinese. Now, that is fine. It's a Chinese anime. However, if you're doing it subtitled for a non-Chinese speaking audience, do it all the way. Don't give me missing bits. There was newspaper articles that we couldn't see because it didn't show us like what it said. Also, there was the karaoke scene. I know this one is a little bit like more petty on my part, but there was a karaoke scene where, what's her name?
Shanshan.
Shenshan. Is it Shenshan or Shanshan?
They call her Shanshan as a pet name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shanshan was singing a song, and it felt like knowing the words would have just added a little bit.
I agree.
More to what was going on.
Totally
like
agree.
They did it good visually, but the song was there for a reason. So please give me these song subtitles the way most animes do. Like, come on, don't give me half-hearted subtitles. Don't do that again.
Okay, I know Ruka just touched on the negative, but I really want to touch on the positive. That end credits song is a banger. Oh my god, guys. Literally, if you don't watch this whole anime, that's cool. Listen to that tune though. Bloody hell, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it made up for the crappy opening song with the weird visuals that I just couldn't get into. The ending song was pretty cool. They should have reversed those two, but you know, whatever. Why on earth would they have to wait for 48 hours to file a report when someone called from Shen Shen's phone and then turned it off? It's clear signs of foul play. It's also completely related to an ongoing serial killer case. It just made no sense. Why are the police trying to take this L? However, if she was out there protesting in China now...
Whoa. We're on TikTok.
I'm just saying, they wouldn't have to wait 48 hours. So...
Ruka, we're on TikTok. We can't defend the Chinese government. We need to,
Insert South Park clip right here. Well, over here we have integrity.
Could do with some integrity. So, do you want to talk about the bad guy?
We don't know who the bad guy is.
But this bad guy is like, I can't say that either because Ruka's going to edit it out if I say he's like God because he's never there when you need him. But this bad guy is like... Okay, look, we have a world where certain people have powers. These two obviously have powers, so it does stand to reason that other people have other powers. Now, these two powers are compatible, Lu Guang and Cheng. Their powers are compatible working together. That's fine. So yes, understanding that someone has different powers made sense. But gosh, what a power this is. Not only could he go into spirits of other people, I guess, he could do multiple at the same time, across time. Within the photo, outside the photo, in the real world, like, whoa.
Well, no, because in the photo is the past, and the other one was present, so it actually wasn't at the same time.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's why he said, he said he already knew him, sort of thing. That makes sense now, but still.
But then, you had Liu killing himself in the police precinct. We don't know if that was at the same time, so you might be right, but we don't really know because of the way they set the scenes up.
They've done it really well to keep us guessing and hoping for season 2, and so well done in that sense.
I wanted to know why Lu Guang was going along with the past change all of a sudden in episode 11. I was saying that Cheng should sort out everything that happened with Emma because she was only put in harm's way because of him. Her fate wasn't to die. However, it seems like maybe it was because whoever this bad guy is had it out for her. But I wonder if they're cleanup crew?
For the universe to balance the time out. Because I literally wrote that in my notes.
Really?
Yeah, I literally wrote that in my notes.
So I'm not sure because they said it was a game to them, but they could just really enjoy their job, be really overzealous workers.
Right, I'm here to work today.
Because we don't know enough about the victims in order to piece it together because the story wasn't about the victims.
Yeah.
The story was about Lu and Cheng and their experience with their own powers. So we don't there was so many victims and it was over so many years that it was happening and no one could find a connection in the police precinct.
I want to touch on the point you just made. So, Lu Guang is constantly touting about how Cheng needs to be careful, blah, 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 blah. Cheng goes back to the time where his parents died in an earthquake. And he tries to go and get that and save them or do something or see them or whatever. And Lu Guang talked him out of it, and so he goes and tries to save someone else's mum. But for your friend, though, you bend over backwards to change the rules. I just thought that was a bit deep on Lu Guang's part, and he's wrong for that. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, Sheng is the one who created the plan to save Shan Shan, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't go and save his parents.
He couldn't. When he found out about the earthquake, there was so little time, there's no way he could make it. Also, he didn't know where his parents were. So it's like he couldn't do anything about that. That's not fair.
I don't know.
Obviously, he would have tried if he could. So, I mean, leave him. There's enough bad points about him. We don't have to add on extras. So I like that they made episode 11 longer and ended it at episode 11. I love when an anime knows when to stop. And they definitely did know when to stop. But how dare they leave me with such an intense cliffhanger? What the hell? You better get picked up for season 2 or we gonna fight.
You get what I mean? We're gonna make that trip to China to go and tell them, oi, sort it out, mate.
Actually,
we're not making that trip to China.
Maybe let's just stay home.
I don't want to pay these vaccination prices. I don't want to do that.
No, so okay, what did you think about Link Click?
So do I think it was a hot or not? I'm playing. It's obviously a hot. I'm looking forward to season 2. I want to know who the bad guy is. I want to know if Liu Guang survives. I want to know a lot of things. Guys, if you haven't watched this, please, I beg you, watch it. If for nothing else, the end credit song.
Okay, well for me it's also a hot. It was really well done. I liked the visuals. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was the subtitle issue that I had. The characters were really well done. The relationships between the characters were really interesting. I really loved it. It was just so natural. Like, it felt so real.
Yeah.
And I also liked, even though they only told us about Zhao's relationship to Cheng at the very end, it still was so natural and just tracked. It didn't feel like they just threw it in there, you know? Even though it was just right at the end.
Bruv, they introduced Dongji in like episode 10 or something. And yeah, it felt like he was part of the team. Like, do you know?
Yeah.
They did a great job.
They did a really good job. I am also looking for season 2, but I think that I want the next Hot or Not to be a slice of life because I can't take this anymore. Too many emotional animes. I'm tired of crying.
So let us know what you think about Link Click in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.
And if you have any suggestions for us doing Hot or Not, leave it in the comments as well.
Peace.